My name is Ronnie Goodless and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV, the Everton fan channel. Me, Ped, I'm here with Matt Jones, and we've got a special guest. It is Chris. You all know who he is. Chris,
the rent boy guy.
I wasn't going to say that. It is Chris from Redmen TV. He's come in and soiled our fine set with,
going to bring his mug on,
with that shirt, that horrible shirt that anyone of my vintage will just send nightmares.
87, 88, mate. 85, 86.
Did you not even know what that shirt was?
You know what? We've got so many fucking Liverpool shirts, I couldn't remember which one to put on.
You're going to have to bleep that, lads, because we don't swear on our channel.
Oh, really?
No, we don't swear on our channel. We have the potty mouths to use. But it's alright, because the last time we did a video, Paul come on, and he swore on it, so we've got the bleep machine already. Don't worry. You can swear as much as you want, but it will be bleeped out, because we are, you know, that's how we roll here at Toffee TV.
Fair enough. It's about time we got rolling, in fairness.
Well, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. We do look very, very tired, because you'll probably may have seen already, or you will see, we had a big derby contest with bubbles and five-a-side footy, and go and watch it. You'll see more. But Chris, it's a weird derby, this, because for once, it's very much Liverpool who are under pressure coming to this game. Right?
Oh, big time, mate. The fan base is just it's turned on Brendan Rodgers, and look, if you see social media and stuff, it's completely gone and you can't get it back. But if you're in the ground, it's on that tipping point now. You know, if you're at Anfield, the crowd are starting to move towards you don't want them there anymore. Like, and you know, when you lose the fans in the ground, there's no coming back from that, really.
Is that a general thing? Like, is that a performance thing, or has that just been a results thing? Because I said I'm old enough to have seen many turning points for Liverpool where people have gone, oh, that, you know, he's gone too far and he'll never get it back. But then you look, people as old as me will go, as soon as they've seen that result against Carlisle on penalties, just gone, they'll win that. They'll win that tournament this year, because, you know, being a blue, you're used to that kind of thing. So, but is it just results, or is it just, is the style of play starting to ebb away people? And also,
I think
him.
It's in part down to him, and I think it's the fact that he's lost his identity as a manager at the moment. You know, he came here with a clear vision of what he wanted Liverpool to do, and over the last 18 months, the team just hasn't done what he said they were going to do. You know, we expected them to kick on after 13-14, and we lost our way. We lost our identity as a football team and as a football club and a fan base as well, because we were hurting from running it so close and stuff. But the results haven't helped at all, mate. We've taken so many heavy beatings under Brendan Rodgers, more than I can remember under any manager. You know, we look back at the end of last season, we got beaten by Stoke away, and then just we can see far too many goals, and I can see you laughing, and I'm genuinely gutted about this, and I'm talking and I'm digging myself into a pit that I'm not going to be able to get out of, and I'm sorry for swearing again. But it's everything, you know, and the team's just not been good enough. Some of his decisions, you're just looking at it and going, why are we changing formation 4 times during a match? You know, some of the substitutions and the signings, it's everything, mate.
Well, you know, again, in the summer, Sterling goes and he brings in loads of new players. I mean, is that helping? Or, you know, because we've seen it last season, Suarez goes, he brings in a raft of new players, they all have to settle down. He's done it again this season, they're all going to have to settle down again. And you just think, is it because the players he's buying are rubbish, or is it because he's just bringing too many in at once?
I think it's because he's bringing too many in. Look, you know, for me at the start of the season, I think he thought he had time, because if you didn't think you had time, you wouldn't bring so many players in and try and get them to gel. Yeah. You know, he's historically under Rodgers, we've been much better second half of the season, but I'd say most teams are like that if you've got a big squad anyway. You know, the ones with smaller squads, you'd say they tend to drop off a little bit. But, you know, the signings, you know, Firmino's come in for 29 million quid. We were ecstatic about him without seeing him before that even started. You know, that's just the way that it is, isn't it? And, you know, Benteke's come in, 32.5 million, scored a couple of goals, but ultimately it comes down to the fact that we've had our best player missing for a year. The closest one to world class, we've had him missing, Daniel Sturridge. And, you know, Liverpool without a world class player, they're not good at the moment.
How much as well, though, has Brendan Rodgers, do you think, played his part in I'm trying to phrase this in the right way, but I feel like Liverpool's identity, when you look at them as a, you know, you look at the team sheet, and I used to strike fear into me Sturridge does strike fear to me, but you look and you see Gerrard and Suarez, him almost forcing. It feels like to me, I don't know what Matt will feel about this, but it feels like he forced Gerrard out because he doesn't like dealing with big personalities, and it's always about him, and he wants to be the biggest personality in the room. And there's plenty of examples of why I feel that way, because you have to see him on the TV programs and post-match comments, and the way it's always about him, and how his image himself has changed, and new teeth, he's thinner, he's got new bit on the side. I just feel like it's all about him all the time. I just feel like he can't cope with people like Gerrard around him.
It's difficult to say categorically one way or the other whether that's the case, but talking about his teeth and the way that he's lost weight and stuff, look, maybe he didn't feel comfortable enough telling these elite athletes what they're supposed to be doing if he was overweight and carrying a few extra pounds and stuff, and you can't fault him for that. As far as like getting in shape goes, it's a fact that if you're in shape and you're doing exercise regularly, you're mentally sharper.
Didn't stop Rafa.
No. He went the complete other way. The stress got to him at the end, didn't it? Because he was taking on too much, more than a manager's job at Liverpool. He was fighting the owners. He was fighting Ferguson and all this type of stuff, and it got on top of him, and that was stress in a different way. I'll imagine that he's working 16, 17, 18-hour days. A fitter manager is going to be able to better deal with that at the end of the day.
Do you feel like his principles have been muddled a little bit? Because, like you mentioned there, when he first came in, he was kind of like a death by passing style, wasn't it? In the second season, it was more forward counter attacking, and last season it was just like kind of, it wasn't really anything, was it? It wasn't really one or the other, was it? And this year, you started again. He's brought in Benteke, and you think, is it going to go a different way again now? And you tried to play, you were playing a bit more direct in the early weeks of the season, and all of a sudden, because Benteke's gone injured, he's gone back to two strikers, changed the system again. He just doesn't seem to have his principles aligned at the moment. It all seems a little bit muddled for him.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think when he came in, he had a clear vision of 4-3-3 was his formation. Now, he went away from that because I think his hand was forced slightly, and he needed to find a way where Suarez and Sturridge could get into the side. Last season, we lost Suarez. We had Sterling up top. It just didn't work. And this season, he went back to 4-3-3, quite pragmatic in the opening two games of the season. But that formation's just not working for us, and the problem for me with Brendan Rodgers is he doesn't seem to have a plan in the transfer windows. We've brought in Klein now, and he's a brilliant right back, but he's playing right wing back, and he's not actually that good at right wing back. Moreno is an absolutely left back, but he's a much better left wing back. He seems to collect attacking midfielders, and he seems to like picking them up, but the Jacks of all trades, the masters of none. Sometimes you just want someone who plays that number 10 position, and you're just going to play him there every week. Whereas we got Lallana moving around, Firmino moving around, and all this. And it's great that they can do that, but wouldn't you rather just have someone better in one position and stick to your formation?
Yeah.
So where are you when it comes to Brendan Rodgers?
I was, up until 2 weeks ago, I was saying still keep him in. After the West Ham and the Man United game, I was like, I'm done with him. And then I was just over, so he can still change me back, but at the moment I don't think he's the right man.
Do you think having the shadows of the likes of Klopp and Ancelotti's been talked about, do you think that they'll play the part in whether he stays or goes?
Potentially. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, without looking into him more than most Liverpool fans, I couldn't tell you one way or another whether he'd be a good fit. He seems a good fit because of the FSG and the way that they want to get the club moving forward, buying young developing players and stuff like that, but I'm more interested in getting a winner in. Ancelotti's only won 3 league titles in his career, and one of them was in France, but he's won 3 European Cups. Now, I'd rather see someone brought into the club, if we are going to get rid of Rodgers, who was a proven winner. Klopp's had a poor last season with Dortmund and stuff, but whether he's the right man, I don't know. I want to see FSG change their strategy more than anything. Because I don't think at the moment, if we really truly want to win league titles again, then we're going to struggle to do it by buying young developing players. Because we're not even buying them for 5 million. We're buying Markovic's for 20 and trying to develop them and not giving them the time to do that. And that's a muddle you talked before about, like muddling your identity. If you're not giving Markovic more than a season when you pay 20 million for him, are you going to stick with that strategy, or are you going to try and buy players who can do the business now?
Matt, so how are you looking forward to this one? Because as we started the show, it's bit different for us this season. We're looking at it very, very positively, and we're looking at Liverpool's side, and really, Sturridge maybe apart. I don't feel like there's that much to fear. It certainly doesn't seem like there's that much to fear.
I always look at Coutinho. I think he's a brilliant player. He's someone who I think we'll have to keep close tabs on. But from an Everton point of view, in the build-up, I've kind of been thinking, you go through the motions, don't you, with derbies, especially when you're the blue, and you think, these again, mental issues, we struggle to beat them all the time. And when you scratch away the surface a little bit and look through it all, I think there are a lot of reasons to be positive for us. I think Gerrard not being there is obviously a big plus for us. He's someone who seemed to raise the stakes in derby games. He galvanised those around him in these sorts of matches.
No, but it's weird though, isn't it? It's weird though, isn't it? Like, because you probably watched them last season and just were like, he offers us nothing. But for us, in that derby game at Goodison, we'd expect nothing more than him to have scored the winning goal. That's like the mentality of an Evertonian that you have to get over.
It's always around him as well, though, isn't it, in those games? Yeah. Liverpool always seem to lift the levels in those games. And I think him and what he did in those matches, the way he led by example, you can imagine what he's been saying in the build-up to the games and how important it is. That must rub off on the players, and that's something I think Liverpool are going to miss in these sorts of matches going forward.
I think they will do. Look, we've got no one really who wants to throw a foot and he wants to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Coutinho's been trying, but there's no end product there at the moment for us. You know, as far as Everton go, for me, I look at Ross Barkley and think he's going to try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and I don't look at it and think there's anyone in our midfield who can sort of go toe to toe with him.
But it's also there's no local identity about the Liverpool team, really, is there? How do you look at it? You just think, I mean, who's there? Is there anyone on the bench?
There's no one there with links to the past, either. You know, you'll laugh all the time about Liverpool looking back at the history and stuff like that, but you know, you want someone who's been there and who's done it and who's won trophies and stuff like that in your football club. And as a Liverpool fan, it's a lot harder to look at your side and think there's no Scousers in that side. That pains you because it's been so long. But I think we all knew that when Gerrard went, that was going to be the last of it. I just thought that he was going to stay around the club.
Yeah, well, I mean, that still might happen, but you know, it's LA, innit? We all, you know, we all had LA Galaxy's kit when we were kids. We all wanted to play. Well, that was Robbie Keane. Sorry. I
had Keane on the back of a Liverpool shirt. The last time I'm going to play his name on my shirt.
Yeah, that's never a good move. I think it's going to be wide open. You know, I don't think there's any. You know, you mentioned there players that grab the game with the scruff of the neck, but there's no real agitators. There's no one in there. You think, there's going to be a bit of a niggle with these two today. They are two nice teams in a you know, Lucas can mix it, Milner can mix it. We've got Naismith who'll throw a foot in. Barry will obviously always get booked because he always gets booked. But there's no one in there who you think, these two, you know, it will be a friendly derby.
I think that might suit us in a way though, because a lot of these games in the past, Liverpool have obviously had the better players, and it's kind of evened out a little bit over the last few years, apart from that season when they went and nearly won the title. But if Everton don't go into these games thinking we're going to fight against Liverpool, we're going to try and kick them, we're going to try and spoil rather than going in ourselves and playing people like Gerard Deulofeu in the game, people like Ross Barkley who want to create and want to dictate games instead of spoiling, then that could help us, because that's the type of team we are now. That's when we're at our best, when we're playing forward thinking football, not when we're trying to fight with the opposition, spoil games and slow the pace down.
There is Martin Atkinson to think about though.
Yeah.
You've always got to consider the ref to be in red, clearly.
No, not with Martin Atkinson, mate. He's had enough over the years with us as well, you know. I think, you know, talking about like referees and how Everton will attack the games, I just think we've just got a really soft underbelly, man. And if you can get the ball centrally and just run at our centre-backs, it's just going to open up for you.
I think the worry is, again, old school Everton, is the sting in the tail, getting overconfident, getting too cocky, thinking, Martinez push. Because it's very much like we go back a couple of seasons to when we went to Anfield and got beat 4-0. You know, we had the possession with like 65%. And I remember going into that game and everyone going, we've got to have a go at them. This is the time. You've got to play players. And I think that got into Martinez's head, and he played Ross Barkley, who clearly wasn't fit. And he played Alcaraz at the back with Jags, and they weren't fit. He played John Stones at right back. And he went for it, and Liverpool ended up, well, it could have been 7-8. That night it was unbelievable, the attacking prowess of Liverpool. And I just hope that Martinez can rein in a little bit and just went, you know what, lads, go out there, play the way you're playing, don't go nuts, just keep the way you're playing and keep your heads, and you'll get something today. I hope there isn't that expectation where he goes, you know what, I can sense this today, throw it.
Yeah,
Because you can feel
for the kill type of thing.
He went the complete opposite last year though in the home game, didn't he? You remember he played Besic, McCarthy, Barry.
Yeah.
And then it was just probably the worst Derby match I've
But
seen.
he did that at Anfield, didn't he? Yeah, he did that at Anfield.
So in both of those games, I think he obviously learned a lesson in that respect. So hopefully he can strike a balance between the two, where it's where we are attacking, we are a threat, but we can keep that cohesive shape as well. But I think it's important that we do start on the front foot. We do go at Liverpool, because if you look at the way that they've been defending recently, I think that the 2 goals against Villa were both from crosses, weren't they? And if you look at how Delafeu was on Monday, even if we do go forward, we do concede an early goal, hopefully heads won't go down, because we've got the assets there to cause Liverpool problems, clearly, with our attacking players. And there's been games this season, 4 times we've come back already and got a draw or a win from losing position. So hopefully, if things go as... But it's so hard in the Derby. It's so hard.
We've got to rein ourselves in.
You get muddled, don't you? You think of all these things that are going to happen and how it should play out, and then it's just that intangible factor.
Your fans have got to believe, and that's what it comes
There's
down to.
There's got to be a mentality shift, because Liverpool fans will always feel like they can win a Merseyside Derby or whatever, no matter what. And Everton fans, a lot of them are the opposite. They'll always feel, no matter how much Everton were atop, they'd always feel like, oh, this again, you know. And that's a big mental hurdle. It's a big mental hurdle that Everton fans have got to get over, because it's not the players, it's not the manager. They come and go, but it seems to have been instilled in some of the fans for a long time. And you know, fans just got to get over that. And I think Martinez will just let his team play, as we say, and I think it's a good game. I think it's going to be.
It should be. It'll be an open game. I think both teams will score, definitely. But you know, talking about the Everton fans and stuff, like, I just think, you know, when Goodison Park's rocking, man, there's not many more intimidating places to go to in the country. You know, I always think of those, you know, Duncan Ferguson scoring against Man United, and he's always getting results against them over the years and stuff, like late games, and you think that's a horrible place to go to.
But that's a completely different mentality though. When you're playing against someone like Man United or a Chelsea, Man City now, it's like, oh, you know, we'll show these. It's not the same with Liverpool. Yeah. It's like
you should be trying to think, you know, we could end Rodgers' Liverpool career.
I don't want to end Rodgers' Liverpool career.
Well then, let us win then, and we'll take that. Okay?
I don't want it, but it's.
But these you should look at it from like an external point of view. You need to like kind of detach yourself from it as well, don't you? Because if you look at Everton, and if we win this game now and say United lose against Arsenal later in the day, we're only a point behind them in the league table, and I know it's early doors, and I know it's a bit too early to be thinking about those sorts of things, but these are the games that seasons can define season. They can set you off on a great run.
I must admit, I don't fear derbies anymore. There's nothing to be feared. I remember walking out at Wembley, you know, after Andy Carroll scored that goal, and thinking, I've just watched one of the crappiest Liverpool teams beat Everton on a day when Everton in the first half were absolutely brilliant, and then Moyes just made a couple of changes and just the players all froze and it was gone. And I just thought, it'll never get lower than that for me. It'll never ever get lower. And I just think, I walk into derbies now and go, whatever happens today, I'll never be lower than that game. So I think some of the fans should adopt that. Because you know what? Like, I don't, like, you know, you've got the 86 shirt on there. I don't think my half fella could get any lower than that. You know, seeing his team lose a cup final and also throwing away a league title in the last few weeks. So, I think more people are more worried about having to walk into work on Monday morning and face the knobhead on both sides. You know.
Both ways, doesn't it?
You know, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. Get a score prediction off you, Chris.
3-2 to Liverpool.
Yeah, we'll dub that over. Matt,
I think 3-1 to us.
I'm going 3-1 as well. I'm confident. I think, you know, nothing to fear. If we lose, we lose.
At least we're not doing a review show, are we?
Not with him. no, we went fence. We went 3-1. Yeah. Come in!
No.
Come in, you were like that. We're recording on Tuesday.
I'm ill today. I'm not coming in. Like,
Baz will be here. Baz will have his arm on a sling, morphine drip.
If you win, that's it. That's Baz over. He's already got a dicky ass at the moment. If you win 3-1, mate.
Don't let his insurance company right. Tell us what you think is going to be the score in the Merseyside Derby the weekend. Tell us in the comments. Tell us on Twitter. Is at Toffee TV 1. Don't forget, catch up with the videos we've done with the bubble football. Honestly, it's amazing. It's worth watching. We're all absolutely done in because of it. My hair's an absolute mess. That's the most important thing. The ridiculous.
Paul's just now living, I reckon.
Yeah, Paul's just out live from the Redmen. Make sure you subscribe to Redmen TV if you're that way inclined.
Quite a lot of Everton fans do, just to give me a bit of stick.
Yeah,
to be
come
honest.
on, it is Chris from the Redmen. You've all seen the vines; they are absolutely amazing. He is a,
Mine, you know what? I wish you could monetise mine. I'd be a millionaire, mate. Some of those.
Do you know what? If you could,
hilarious,
if you could, I'd be saying some mad stuff on here too. Basically, and I'd have a lot more of those fan cams going. I can't be bothered. No, we're doing them. We're doing them for Vine. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We've just gone over 5,000. Big thank you. That was our season target, and we've got it before October, which is amazing. So thank you everyone out there. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, smiling. Hopefully he'll be dead miserable, and we'll drag him in the studio and we'll make him do a video of where he openly cries and then there's a big kick-off on.
I think that's where those fans all came from.
We'll get him to turn up in his Robbie Keane shirt.
Don't have it anymore.
And make him cry into it. Hopefully that happens anyway. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.